Alright, Captains, it is time for the US Navy's Tier 6 cruiser, Cleveland. Yes, that's right, Captains. I was feeling all nostalgic when I was playing my Fuso and I was looking over at my Cleveland, the old girl just collecting dust in port. And I thought, you know what, darling? Let's take you out for a spin on the high seas and see what we can see. Especially now that this old dog has a new trick to learn. And yes, Captains, that is the IFHE Tier 4 Captain skill. I thought, I wonder if I forego my AA build and chuck on this IFHE, what kind of gaming experience am I gonna get? And oh my goodness gracious, what I got time and time again is what you're seeing now is the melting of battleships. Melting that New Mexico to the tune of 40,000 points of damage was just obscenely awesome. Ow! The little New Mexicos going to town, laying into this Mutsuki. Oh my word, just the damage numbers that you're gonna be plodding into these bad boys is outrageous. And more importantly, consistent. And a parting shot of 6,500. Now as a Tier 6 Cleveland, you will see lots of 7s and 8s. And fear not, the IFHE will still work on those bad boys. I mean, the Sharn Horse one isn't necessarily the most flamboyant of numbers, but it does happen all the time. Even when you move up into the Tier 8s like this poor North Carolina, oh my word, I would just lay it into this poor SOB left, right, and center. And again, this is something that I could just go on for days highlighting melting battleships with the IFHE. Without it, it's not necessarily a night and day difference, but it is enough that over time you will see a big boost to the HE damage on your detailed report. But I'm sure you guys are tired of me beating the dead horse of BB superstructure.
There he is, beating that dead horse! Get him!
So let's see what this Cleveland does to, let's say, the scummiest little scumbags on the planet. Destroyers. Ouch is all I gotta say. If you are a destroyer and you see a Cleveland on the enemy team, you go in the other direction. I mean, do not YOLO solo, do not Carpe Diem, because it will end badly in about 2 salvos. Oh my gosh. Now I can't go on for days with this one because most destroyers learn pretty quickly that you see a Cleveland, you do, yes, run the other direction. Forward. Oh my gosh, every now and then you'll catch one of these guys asleep at the wheel, off guard, pants down, 2 salvos, and done. Now if you wanted to be extra anti-DD trolly, you could go for the hydroacoustic search instead of the defensive fire, but I don't do that because I don't really feel I get to use that often. I mean, I don't use my defensive fire, to be honest with you, as often as I would like to anymore, because most carriers learn to go the other way when they see a Cleveland. But the hydroacoustic search could be really nice, especially when guarding it against the torpedo beats. Besides which, we all know that the defensive fire is the true breadwinner of the Cleveland gameplay.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
That's right, your ass better call somebody if you didn't know that Cleveland was just nomming aircraft left, right, and center. Now in this clip I do have the 7.2 kilometer extended range full AFT AA build, and you can see just how quickly I'm melting through this squadron and the next squadron after that. RNGesus did smile upon him and did allow him to drop one of his little Sky Cancer bombs, but it was at the cost of not just one, but both of his squadrons. Ouch. Oh, and speaking of ouch, well, almost. Torpedo beats! Talking about dispersion of torpedoes, huh? Oh my word. Now, as I mentioned, I have 2 captains for the Cleveland. One is an AA spec, almost completely AA, and the other one is my IFHE build. And regarding the AA, you can see right here a side-by-side comparative analysis, 63 to 84 for the AA spec. And you can see that comparison down the line. The distances get shorter, damage is less, but how does that translate to in-game? You can see right here the distances at which I'm engaging those aircraft with my non-AA build and my defensive fire lit. Not all of my guns are actually going to be working on these 2 squadrons right here, and the 3rd fighter squadron that is just at my maximum range. I still lay into all the squadrons and I do a pretty good job of melting them down, but Had I gone full AA, I probably would have melted all of those aircraft, even the fighters at the 7-kilometer range. Now another feature of the ship is of course the beautiful AP performance of the US Navy cruisers. But with the IFHE build captains, it'd be very easy to just HE spam the entire time and not switch to the AP. Because while that AP is devastating when it hits, it won't be as consistent and potentially as rewarding as sticking to the HE rounds, because that HE to AP back to HE window is so small with the intrafuse high explosives. But trust me, when that window is open, just blast right on through that SOB and reap the rewards of sit wrecks. Oh my word. Alright captains, well when I first started making this video I had in mind to just focus on the IFHE, but I soon came to realize that I wanted to mention some other facet, and it's not necessarily directly related to the Cleveland. It's more of a philosophical idea. And when I first started playing the Cleveland, it was over a year ago before I started making YouTube videos. She was my first tier ships. I played about 130 games in her, and I thoroughly enjoyed what everybody knows, and that is the AA nom nomin of aircraft. But the damage numbers were never quite there for me, at least on the kind of satisfactory level that I wanted. And so once I moved past her, you know, it was a Met experience, and I moved past her and I never really looked back at her. I played her maybe a handful of times over this past year, and that was it. But now, after several thousand games and having accrued some knowledge on how the game works, how to play it, and just overall tactics, this ship that was meh is now magnifique. And I started to reflect on a couple of comments that I've gotten before and interactions I've had with some of my mates in game about burnout or stagnation, or this game's treading water, what do I do next? I got all these ships. Because we go for all the ships that we want and we keep all the ships we had a great time in, but we always go usually past the meh ships or the stepping stone ships, and we're reluctant to go back to them because they were just meh or even bad for that matter. But with all this experience now, captains, perhaps it might be worth something to you to go back to those meh ships and give them another spin, because who knows, you might find yourself a diamond in the rough. Thank you, Aladdin. I don't know. Philosophy class over. So let's get stuck into the replay, which is gonna encompass almost everything that is awesome about the Cleveland. So get comfy, put your feet up, and enjoy. Alright, this match sees us top tier in a tier 6 matchup on the map Straight. Oh, and there's an enemy carrier, but only one little DD.
General quarters.
Alright, looking at my captain. Yes, this is the IFHE captain. So I had the preventative maintenance, expert marksman to turn my turrets, adrenaline rush because you do get popped in this thing, and the reduction of the reload rate is extraordinarily awesome. Demo for fires to make up for the IFHE reduction in fire chance, and concealment expert. If I was going full AA, now mind you, I would go for BFT, AFT, and manual AA, because oh my word, that is so glorious. My module, she is fully kitted out. I do have the AA extension on this one though still, because the other ones don't really matter in that category. And for my signals, I only run at the moment the decrease to consumable reloading, but you can go with the AA and some of the other ones to increase fire chances, but that's what I got. Now, as the Cleveland is a US ship, I do as I always do. Zoom in all the way, roll back once on my mouse, and that is my lead picture, because as a US ship, she's got the Skittle cannons, the aka Unicorn Butts, shooting out their rainbow arc shells to hopefully land some golden fires. Okay, well, we're on our way to the women's prison, and I'm using this emerald as a makeshift destroyer since we don't have any down here. We do have a nice dispersion of the fleets, although one guy is trying to make everybody come south, the north-south maneuver on this map, which I don't particularly care for. It is applicable in some instances, but I do like the dispersion of our own fleet, and I'd rather just stand our ground and take care of who's ever in front of us. And speaking of who's in front of us, we got a Koenig. moving on in, and he's got a buddy in tow. Yes, a New Mexico. Excelente. Now, we do have Sky Cancer, and he does look like he is focused on the interior of the map at the moment, but I do want to use my minimized AA bubble to help protect the 2 baddies in tow. Now, I'm thinking this Emerald is hopefully going to maybe pop some smoke, and he and I can have a little bit of a smoke. Ooh, there's some more enemy fleet there, and they may be heading north too. I don't know, but I was hoping that our Emerald will pop some smoke. We have his little smoke out together, a little powwow, and just melt some of these bad boys come rolling on in, especially that New Mexico we saw in the highlights. I can just lay into those things for days. I just love doing it. But I don't think our Emerald realizes that he's got smoke. So I gotta keep on puttering and just work on this New Mexico, who is charging in pretty close. And I gotta start thinking about maybe start turning away, because we're getting a little too close for comfort. Yes, alright, so he is laying into our Emerald, and it's time to start turning and burning. I do see that the Koenig did put out that fire. That means he is susceptible to some fires, and I could put one on his decks. He's going to burn for about 45 seconds or so. And, oh, touchdown! Got a fire and an AA gun. Excellent. Now I can focus all my firepower on this New Mexico, who is hating life at the moment. He is getting focus fired by 4 ships, including myself, with my high explosive AP rounds. Come on, here we go. Here we go. Can we get a fire to boot? Hey, we got a fire to boot. Excellent. Nice, good. 2 fires burning. I am angled away. I slow up because I know this New Mexico is going to start running for that hill behind him, because yeah, life choices, poor choices have been made. Come on, come on. He did use damage control. 2,900 points of damage. Sweet. So that means he is going to be susceptible to fires, probably on this salvo right here that's landing. No, and a fire. Oh, you poor SOB. I feel for you, mate. All by your onesies over there. No support. Everybody's done. YOLO'd, run away. Oh, and we're gonna send you to your next game, hopefully sooner rather than later. And oh, I landed another fire, but damn, our Emerald just took one square in that face from the New Mexico. Oh, poor Emerald, brother. But that New Mex, I'm gonna help you out and take him out of the game. There we go, with the fires. Sweet. Now I have, like I said, been using my AA bubble to protect my 2 big uglies down here, but Mr. Enemy CV Sky Cancer doesn't seem to be paying us no mind, so that's good. I don't mind that, which happens a lot actually in your Clevelands. You either get games where you're without a carrier, or the enemy carrier is like, Cleveland, oh, F that, I ain't going anywhere near that guy. I like my planes too much, which I don't blame him. And every now and then, you do come across a carrier. He's like, ooh, what's that? I'll go bomb me a Cleveland. And then why are all 2 of my planes gone? Cleveland. But yes, if you are running with division mates, and a division mate, he does like to fly himself some Sky Cancer. Stormy, I'm looking at you. It is nice to have an AA spec Cleveland rolling around so you can perform your anti-Sky Cancer duties. All right. Now, speaking of some Sky Cancer, I do see that Koenig, but I do see the Indy over there. Ooh, Indy. The carriers, as you can see, like an arch side, do like to hide in the straits. So if you can get an angle, you can get a nice little flat top you can burn. I was trying to shoot at that Koenig, but he's a little far away from my rainbow guns. But the flat top is parked, locked and loaded, so let's take him down. Let's work on him a little bit. He did just take out our Aoba, and there is an inbound dive bombers coming in, and oh, here we go. Landing shots on the Indy. I'm expecting him to maybe get on the gas pretty soon. Now, the dive bombers are within my AA bubble, but I don't pop my defensive fire, and you can see I do select them actually off screen. And you can see my AA is going to work on them, because I'm expecting here that this Indy is going to get on the gas, and then we're going to get a bit of a retaliatory strike. So I want to save my AA, my defensive fire, for that strike of 2 or 3 squadrons. But you can see in the meantime, my AA was doing pretty good. I killed 3 of those little buggers, and the remaining guys are getting worked on by the Bayern, and oh, there goes his whole squadron. So not too shabby, but The Indy, I guess, forgot where the gas pedal is, and he's just sitting there. So, that guy's not going to be long for this world. Oh, and I got to fire. Oh, I take a shot. Oh, probably from that BB going up the middle. And our BB takes down enemy carrier. So now it's time to work on Mr. Omaha. Now the Omaha, I did switch up to the AP. And it was tough to tell because I can't see his smokestacks because they're blending into the background. So it was hard to see. I'm using that excuse, captains. It was hard to see and gauge his speed. So all of those are just swinging and a missing. I switched back up to my IFHE HE rounds because I know I'm going to be coming into some big ugly territory over here. But that battleship got taken down, so if I had used AP, I maybe could have gotten some citadels on that guy. But what are you gonna do? Now the enemy team has sort of, bait-balled back into their cap. New Mexico opportunities, targets opportunity, captains. Always keep your head on a swivel, looking to see who you can shoot at, and of course can shoot at you. But they have bait-balled back in their cap, and Mr. Koenig is rolling in. Danger though. That Koenig, we all know, is a very bad mamma jamma. So I do launch my HE rounds into him, 2,100 points of damage. Pay attention to that number roll, because I am going to switch up to AP after this round. Hopefully light some fires on his decks, because there is and there we go, fire for 2k, sweet. Armor piercing is loaded. Fire the AP rounds into hopefully that small superstructure, and 2,100 points of damage. See, the Koenig guys has that small superstructure, so IFHE or the AP doesn't really matter. The broadside, there's not a lot of superstructure to shoot at, so you're going to get about the same kind of damage numbers there. So food for thought. Now there is an enemy Leander that is just over yonder in that little cloud of smoke. I did see him before he got blacked out, so he is on my mind's eye. Till then, I am going to lob some shells at this New Mexico. Now, I do make a bit of a mistake here, captains, which you're going to see me rectify here. Moshkosh, there we go. If you go off into the distance, you can gauge the kilometer zone and then move it back over the islands and start popping some lead, raining some fire on these fools. But I didn't. I was just taking a wild-ass guess, and so I was shooting at Flipper and the Dolphins. Oh my god, so live it and learn it. But how's that? 5,300 points of damage, IFHE into that New Mexico. But my next lead wasn't so bueno, and so I landed most of my rounds on the top of his turrets, and so they all broke apart. But the next round, 2,600, and took out his secondaries. Now I do switch up to AP because I know that Leander is going to be visible here pretty soon, and I'm going to lay my AP into that bad boy if I can. But in the meantime, my AP landed on that Omaha for 2,600. Okay, that's okay. Citadels on Omahas, I do like collecting those. Oh, here we go, Mr. Leander. He is now, of course, in full French mode. Is he in the Calais side? 2,100. I was aiming high, trying to get in the superstructure, but now he's exposing some of that juicy broadside. 4,800 for the Confederate inbound torpedoes. Come on, can I get a Citadel? Please. And Citadel, 4,400 points of damage. Interesting numbers there. Fire my AP once again because he's angling, so I'm going to switch back to my HE because you saw that pink on him for only 600 points of damage. So HE and dispersion is a thing. Oh my god. What was that? I bookended him on the other side. HE again now into the superstructure and 2,200 points of damage. He is angling again because I guarantee his torpedoes on his port side are going to be coming, so I do switch up to my AP. Look at the damage numbers, guys, though. Look at that, huh? Alright, AP is now locked and loaded. Broadside opponent. Here we go. And Citadel. Come on, here we go. Next round. Should put him down. Only one Citadel, though. Boo. Come on. And 1,700. Come on, what is that? Close quarters. Torpedo beast. Get skinny. Thank you for secondaries, but oh my god, backing up New Mexico. His guns are all looking at me in a bad way. Fire my AP in. Thank the Lord, he is shooting HE at me. Oh my goodness, because that could have been cuttings for fetch. Now I stick to the AP because he is broadside. He is right there. I mean, it is boarding party's time, so the AP should do very well. But again, damage saturation, you can see he is all beat to shit, so I should be shooting at his front or his butt, but it matters not because he is DED dead. And thank you to the New Mexico behind me for putting in some work on him as well. All right. Now we got 2 cruisers left. Mr. Omaha, which is an entire citadel everywhere, and the Nuremberg, which arguably is a German Omaha for the citadels. And boom, got a citadel. Nice. I was using that New Mexico's Hulk as somewhat of a torpedo shield. And boom, another citadel in the Nurn. Nice, left with 200 points of health. And Citadel for 200 and the high caliber. Now all that's left is that Omaha. I know that Nuremberg has 6 kilometers torpedoes, so I gotta be mindful of those coming in. But double Citadel, 9,600 points of damage on the Omaha. Excellent, my friends. That is what I'm talking about. Oh, he binks those for 300 on overpen. Come on, put him down. Get this another Citadel, please. Yes, thank you. 4,500, and he's done. So is the game. To the tune of 146,500 points of damage. Off of 7 fires, but 9 citadels for 4 kills. Oh, that Omaha could have been my Kraken. I wasn't even paying attention to that, but look at that. Close quarters expert, sweet. Collector's item in the Cleveland, Confederate, and high caliber. Only 4 planes though, but not a lot of planes to shoot at. That is the story for my Cleveland experience. And to finish, yes, captains, taps of the chats with 2,156 base XP with 4 kills, doubling up number 2 on my team. Well, pretty close to doubling up. Not a bad day. Tier 6. Whew. I give kudos to the New Mexico that was rolling with us as well. And in the detail report, you can check it out. For the IFHE, look at that. 360 shots fired, 163 landed for 61,000 points of damage, but just below that, 186 AP rounds fired, 90 landed for 64,500 points of damage, captains. Look at that, guys. Even though I'm all about the IFHE, you can see those damage numbers right there. When AP calls for it, AP all the way, even with the IFHE. That window is a small one from the HE to AP back to HE, but it is a very potent one when used correctly. Oh my, I hope you guys at least take that away from this game. Oh, and the secondaries get in the action, and y'all get a big old pint of lager for taking down that Leander. Or maybe it's wine because he was going in full French mode. I don't know, you guys make the choice, but I'm buying. And of course, 7 fires for 18,000 points of damage. Not bad. And after taxes with the premium account, 324,000 credits. With the standard though, just under 200k for the tier 6 matchup. Cha-ching. Alright, captains, well that was my second go around in the US Navy's tier 6 cruiser Cleveland. Like I was saying, captains, in the intro to this, first time around I had about 130 games and I was really trying to like her, and as an AA boat I was loving her to pieces. You know, think about the Mikhail Kudasov video, and I was talking about the Cleveland is the mini Mick of the AA world, and she really is. If you want to kill a lot of aircraft, get yourself a Cleveland and spec her out for AA. But captains, after watching this video though, you may want to get yourself a second Cleveland captain and spec him out for the IFHE. I can't say this enough, and that is to go back to these ships, guys. Go back. Even if you're like, oh my god, I've done everything, I've been everywhere, man. Well, perhaps you need to go back to the road that is now well less traveled and give some of those mothballed ships a second go. Because first my Fuso and now this Cleveland experience has definitely given myself pause for the cause on these older ships and this gaming experience on the whole. Alright, captains, well, nostalgia aside, I hope you all enjoyed the video and learned something along the way about how to Cleveland, or maybe again, how not to Cleveland. So until next time, captains, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in game. Have fun. Fair seas.